Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Manning Field. You've been watching the picture. We had technical difficulties with the sound. I'm not sure why the lights are on here at Manning Field right now, because they certainly don't need them with the sun shining brightly. Lynn Classical taking on St. Mary's in the championship round game. Isabel McGahey scored the goal that you saw, and Classical leading at 1-0. Callie Madonka in net. For Lynn Classical. Alex Iacoviello in net for the Lady Spartans. St. Mary's defeated English, Classical defeated Tech to get here. And right now, the only problem we have is the sun right in my eyes. It's almost impossible to pick up the Classical numbers anyway. And it's not easy to pick up the St. Mary's numbers either. Just by the way, Classical couldn't keep it in. That's Gertie, I believe, for Classical, who knocked it out. So you had the luxury of not having to hear my voice for the first 8 or 10 minutes. Unfortunately, now you just have to suffer through me. Gertie trying to make a move, gets broken up. Nice job by the defense of St. Mary's. Just kept in by Mackenzie Shea. Here comes Nikolakopoulos, kicked it up, deflected away. Pop toward the net. And coming out quickly is Madonka to take it away. Susanna Cornell was bearing down on her, trying to get there first. Popped off Cornell, bouncing around, knocked down the far end. St. Mary's winds up with it, trying to throw it out in front. They get the shot off, and they score. Good hard work by St. Mary's, and that's Cornell knocking it in. They worked hard to get it away from the defense in the virtually the end zone, the far corner. And they got it away and flipped it out in front. And there was Cornell out in front, wide open. And she knocked it home. So St. Mary's gets the equalizer. Nikolakopoulos with the lead pass, trying to walk in, bounced off a foot, deflected away. Couldn't control the pass. The pass was right there, but they had trouble latching onto it. Now they kind of shanked it. Wound up on net, and it's booted away. Bounces by everybody. St. Mary's with the throw-in. Classical coming back. Nice little shift. Broken up nicely by Foley. Reminds you now, since the score is tied, normally soccer games end in a tie. It's a tie. Can't be a tie here. It would be a tie for MIA purposes. Nicola Coppolis broken up, gets it back, trying to throw it in front, and Cornell was trying to one-time it. I think she thought she was covered. She wasn't. She had a chance to line it up and get another shot, but she one-timed it and chipped it wide. So in this game now it's 1-1. If it ends up in a tie, I believe they have a shootout. There has to be a winner because somebody has to walk home with the championship trophy. But for purposes of the state tournament, MIA tournament, it would end up a tie and each team would get a point. Although the team that wins the shootout would celebrate the championship and be the 2017 city champions. Trying to center it, broken up, cleared away. Glasgow coming back the other way. Long lead pass. Pass overran a little bit. They had almost had 2-on-1. Foley had it and it got knocked out, I think, by Iorati. Gertie was breaking, but Iorati didn't have full control of the ball, couldn't throw the pass deep, and then it wound up getting knocked out of play. Mackey will throw it in play. And it wasn't Mackey, it was Riley Lynch. Nicola Coppolis makes a nice little move, gets around a couple, gets around another one, keeps it in play, down the far side, trying to throw it in front. Glasgow will knock it out of play. And for right now, the sun has gone behind one of those big clouds up there, and we can actually see what's going on, but it's still extremely difficult to pick up the numbers. The St. Mary's gold numbers really blends in with the white, and Glasgow's numbers blend in with their green shirts. And it's been that way with almost all the teams, boys and girls. Lynn Tech's boys were the same way, the blue shirts with numbers that blended in. Glasgow knocks it out. St. Mary's should get a corner kick. And it'll be Caitlin Foley, I believe, taking it. From the near side. Deflects off the St. Mary's player to the side of the net, out of play. Glasgow will get to kick it away. Back and forth for the moment. Gentili winds up with it. Pushed it a little bit too far. Glasgow took it away. And Cornell got taken down. And St. Mary's, I think, are they going to give him a kick? No, they're just calling it out. They didn't call the takedown. Nicola Coppolis kicks over ahead. And then Glasgow just ran over a St. Mary's player, just crushed her. And they call that one. They're going to get a free kick. Nicola Coppolis will take it from the 25. Drives it to the net. A little shot hop. Mendonca played it well, grabbed it, held on. And gets the left foot out, boots it out to midfield. St. Mary's controlling it territorial-wise here. Glasgow hasn't got close downfield. They've been sitting back in their own end. Lynch again with the quick throw-in. St. Mary's lost it out of play. Glasgow will make a substitution. Off Nikolakopoulos deflects out of play. Nikolakopoulos playing with that brace on her right leg. She missed virtually all of last year, getting hurt. Gentili knocks it loose. St. Mary's gets it back. Glasgow knocks it ahead. And it goes into the Glasgow bench area off St. Mary's. Glasgow lets it go out. They'll get the throw in. And Glasgow loses it out of play. 1-1 the score here. This is the 15th annual Lynn City Soccer Tournament. It's Glasgow jumped on top 1-0. St. Mary's has tied it up. 1-1. Just under 17 minutes left in this first half. 1-1 the score. Timeout down the field. Ball. Glasgow clears it away. St. Mary's right back at. Out in front, it went right by everybody, and the goalie wound up getting crunched. They threw it from the far side and went right by everybody. Nobody touched it. The only thing that got touched was a goaltender. Mendonca got leveled. Substitutions for Glasgow, and then we'll kick it away. We must be in New England. That rain started coming. It looked like it was going to really come down hard. It was a good steady rain, and it lasted about 30 seconds. Because now the rain is gone. Glasgow player goes down, and they're going to call it. That's a play that, if that was the boys' game, they wouldn't call it. But with the girls, they called those. It was just two players coming together for the ball, and one player went down. And now the free kick is going to come from the 25-yard line. Right into the midsection of Mendonca. Long lead pass. Glasgow gets there first. And Glasgow, if they knocked it out, it's going to be a corner kick for St. Mary's. It'll come from the far side. And I think it's Foley again. Caitlin Foley, there's two of them. Not related. Up, out in front, tip, it's loose. Laying there, Classical finally kicked it away. A maze of plays, they get the shot on net. And Madonka makes the save. That might have been Diaz Martinez who got that shot on net from that scrum. Madonka tried to recover the fumble out in front, couldn't pick it up. They tipped it a couple of times, but they tipped it right at the goaltender. It finally popped loose. Diaz Martinez got a decent shot off. She didn't drill it, but she got a good effort. And it was right at Mendonca, able to make the save. Knocked high in the air. St. Mary's just not letting Classical get started right now. They're just keeping the ball down the Classical end. Coming down the far side. I think that's Feliz. They throw it back to the other side. It goes out of play. Off St. Mary's. Classical will get the throw in. I think Lacopoulos got a shot break, but she's right back at it. Out off St. Mary's. This is a big week for sports. All four Lynn football teams won. Lynn English hung on against Bellevue this afternoon. They were leading big, and they won it 26-20. Congratulations to Chris Carroll. First-year coach Brian Vaughn, his team pitched a shutout against Medford. Matt Turgan had a big win over Saugus in his opener. And James Runner went on the road. He was the only road game. Tech went on the road and had a big win over Chelsea. It gets knocked in. That's Diaz Martinez, I think. Madonka had it, caught it, and she bobbled it just enough. And it was laying right, virtually a foot away from the back of the net. And Diaz Martinez knocked it home. She was Diaz Martinez on the spot. Well, St. Mary's grabs a 2-1 lead with 9 minutes and counting left. All that pressure paid off. They just kept the ball virtually for a long time here in St. Mary's end. I think Lacopoulos catches up and knocks it out. Classical will get it down deep. This is the deepest penetration they've had in a long time. St. Mary's lost it out of play. Booted high in the air and headed back into the classical end. St. Mary's takes it away. A couple of nice shifts. Another nice shift. Long lead pass. And it's going to go out. St. Mary's going to get another corner kick. Coming from the far side, and again, I think it's Caitlin Foley with the kick. They line drive it, headed away. And then, I don't know if they got the hand on the ball, trying to get the rebound and make a play. But they're going to call it against St. Mary's, and Glasgow will get to kick it away. That's a tough goal. And it was a Glasgow player getting a hand on it because they're going to give a penalty kick. Get the number of the girl making the kick. Penalty kick, they try to go to the far post, and they kicked it wide. A big break for Glasgow there. But as I was talking about, that goal given up, Mendonca made the save. She caught it. And when she caught it, somehow it just bobbled in her hands, and she dropped it and couldn't. And before she could pick it up, Diaz Martinez was right there, sitting right on the doorstep. And all she had to do was just get a foot on it and tap it. There wasn't far to get it into the net. Mendonca was standing almost on the line. Jocelyn DeShanis was that penalty kick shooter. And St. Mary's is offside. Nikolakopoulos got a piece of that shot hop and pushed it forward, but there was one or two players way out in front, too far out in front. So now it's Classical having to play catch up. They led 1-0. St. Mary's caught them, and now St. Mary's has got the lead at 2-1. So it's Classical's turn to play catch up. As that sun comes back, looking right in our face up here in the press box. Popped up. St. Mary's collects. Down the far side, trying to throw it out in front. Mendonca comes out and grabs it. Four minutes and counting left in the first half. 15th annual Lynn City Soccer Championship Tournament, championship game, girls version. Upcoming will be the boys, and it's the same set of teams, St. Mary's and Classical. They bounce it off Nikolakopoulos, out of play. Cornell pushing it ahead. And it goes out of play. Off Classical. Cornell trying to get it down the far end. Blocked. Classical saved it. St. Mary's saved it. And I'm not sure what they called there. I didn't see anybody offside. I don't know if they called it rolling up her arm. She's trying to block it with her body and set up a play. It might have rolled up her arm. Nicola Coppers takes it away from a couple. Taps it to Feliz. Cornell got broken up. And we're going to get, both were kind of pushing and shoving. They call it on Classical. Nicola Coppers drills it. It goes wide right. Tipped away. Knocked back upfield. We're in the closing minute. Long lead pass. St. Mary's out in front. They take the shot. Couldn't get much on it. They were leaning on the shooter. She had to just try and tap it. And all she got was a tap. Mendonca make the easy save. Haskell takes it away. And it goes out of play. St. Mary's will get the throw in. Time winding down. It bounces loose, but then Glasgow's going to kick it away. Gentili fanned on it. The clock stopped because it usually stops at 2 minutes because the last 2 minutes is kept on the field by the official. The official time is kept by the official on the field. So usually stop the clock at 2 minutes and then wait to see when the official blows the whistle. They had it down, and as I say that, the official does blow the whistle, and we've come to halftime. So we're almost through this entire tournament. We played 4 games. We played 5 games. We're halftime of the championship game, the girls' version, here in the 15th annual city soccer tournament. Classical led 1-0. St. Mary's got 2 back, and it's St. Mary's 2-1 over Classical at halftime. Set to start the second half. St. Mary's leading it 2-1 here at Manning Field. They're 40 minutes away from being crowned the 2017 Lynn City tournament champions. Coming from behind, they trailed 1-0. They got 2. So Glasgow will have to play catch-up. St. Mary's kind of controlled territorial-wise that wound up with the 2 goals. The second was just a very tough goal to give up. It was a save by the goaltender. She had it, just momentarily bobbled it, and in that one little moment, it was sitting right on the doorstep, and all Diaz Martinez had to do was just touch it and knock it in. St. Mary's can't keep it in. Feliz trying to go down the near side. I think that was Pedro knocking it out. I was saying, I had Coviello and net. I think it might be Ellie Reardon. I might have. Again, we don't have numbers for the goaltenders, and because they have different uniforms or different jerseys. And unfortunately for Glasgow, both the goaltenders are good-looking blondes. But we're pretty sure it's Mendonca for Glasgow. She was the starter in the first game. I had Coviello started, but I don't think that doesn't look like her. I think it's Reardon in net for St. Mary's. Again, St. Mary's keeping the pressure on. Feliz with the kick. Kind of whirled around and shot it wide right. St. Mary's kept the pressure on, just kept it in the Glasgow end. And when they got the first goal, they really put the pressure on. Glasgow didn't come close to getting it into St. Mary's territory. And it wound up with St. Mary's getting a second goal. And the rain is gone, but that pesky sun is back. Shining right in the eyes of the people on the press box side. So the fans and us here in the press box, when the ball is down the left side, the Glasgow defensive end, the sun is right in everybody's face. Popped it up. Big save by Mendonca. Nikola Kopoulos popped it up. It was over Mendonca's head. It looked like it was going to bounce and go behind her. And Mendonca just got up and got a piece of it and knocked it away. So she robs Nikola Kopoulos. Terrific save by Mendonca. Went out off to Shanus. Mackenzie Shea trying to walk in, try to center it. It gets knocked away by the St. Mary's defense. St. Mary's picks it off. Diaz-Martinez knocks it deep. Glasgow knocks it away, and they knock it out of play. Glasgow just muscles it away. Good job. And it gets knocked out. Sidney Spees made a nice play getting it and then tried to keep it in play, and it went off her foot and went out. Now it goes out off Kayla Demers. Feliz knocked it deep. Glasgow was there to knock it away, and they actually trying to knock it out off Feliz. It stayed in bounds, and then it gets knocked out by Glasgow. Nicolakopoulos with the over-the-shoulder kick, popped it straight up in the air, and it wound up going out off St. Mary's. This is for the bragging rights city championship. You play the season all year. English Glasgow would be a big rivalry. St. Mary, I guess Fenwick would be St. Mary's biggest rivalry, but citywide, the only other really rivalry is English and Glasgow, because Tech doesn't play any of these teams during the regular season. So this city term is the big thing in the city. And these kids have probably grew up playing all kinds of sports. They might have played softball, basketball, youth soccer. Their friends, maybe during the summer, they might play AAU or whatever, and they might be teammates. They might have been teammates growing up on different teams. That's why it's doubly important to win this tournament, because you're going to be seeing these kids. If they're friends, you're going to be being with them at times, seeing them at times. And you don't want to be the one to say, we couldn't beat you. Feliz knocks it deep, broken up, knocked back. Broken up nicely. That's Gentili making the defensive play. Feliz gets in the middle. Nicolakopoulos throws it deep. Jordan's back there knocking it away. And Glasgow knocks it out. 10 minutes into the second half in this championship round game of the 15th annual Lynn City Soccer Tournament. the girls' version. St. Mary's leading it 2-1. Kick is going to go into the classical bench area. St. Mary's with the quick throw in. St. Mary's coming back, shooting it to the net. Couldn't get a lot on it. That was DeShanis, I believe. Jocelyn DeShanis. Mendonca able to make the easy save. Battling going on. It gets knocked into the classical bench area off St. Mary's. Feliz knocks it deep. Jordan, I think, gets there first. And she knocks it out of play. Rolling to the net. Cleared away by the classical defense. And then Gertia steps in from behind, takes it away. And classical can't keep it in. Foley throws it in. Classical knocks it out. And we'll have a substitution. Tipped back. And kicked out again. Foley again will throw it in. Haskell breaks it up. Gertia couldn't get to it. And it's knocked out by Foley. Knocked to the net before Cornell can get there. And Donka comes out and takes it away. And she'll boot it away. Just a high kick. Mackey knocks it all the way back. Haskell just can't get anything started. They can't get into St. Mary's territory. When they do, St. Mary's takes it away and puts it right back on the other side of the 50-yard line. Just like that, Cornell gets around one. Down that far side, has it knocked away. Gets it back. Knocked away again. St. Mary's picks off the pass. Nikolakopoulos winds up with it. Knocked away from her. It goes out. I believe they're calling it off St. Mary's. Waiting for that sun to go down. Here's Classical just getting it inside St. Mary's territory. St. Mary's kicks it away into the Classical bench area. Bounces by Cornell. She winds up with it. Knocked away. Popped loose, hustling back. Good recovery. It looked like St. Mary's might walk in. Nicolakopoulos knocks it away. Gets it back, knocks it deep again. Cornell heads it away. Looking for it. Throws it to Nicolakopoulos. The shot right on net. Good shot. Good save by Madonka. Nice pass from Cornell. Nicolakopoulos, she one-timed it. Haskell almost had a break there. St. Mary's broke it up. Pedro knocks it deep. It gets knocked out. Substitutions for both teams. 2-1 St. Mary's. More often than not, St. Mary's has won this tournament. Nicolakopoulos with a rush, coming down. Still in control, gets it to Cornell. Trying to drop it back, Classical broke it up. Cornell winds up with it. And we got a whistle for something. Somebody made contact with somebody. St. Mary's going to get a free kick. DeShanis from just about the 20-yard line. To the net, knocked down and cleared away. I think that was Spees that made the defensive play. And it gets knocked out. That was hanging around, waiting for somebody to get a foot on it and knock it in. Lynch with the throw in. It goes deep. Haskell looking for a break. It gets broken up. Mackey took it away. Nice defense there, but then they knock it out of play. We've just about reached the halfway mark of this second half. St. Mary's leading Classical 2-1 with a timeout down the field. Coming way out of the net, Madonka got run over. She went down like she was recovering a fumble, slid, caught it, was there, and then got hit. Held on and kicked it away. Nice job by the goaltender. Mackey hustles up, catches up, and knocks it out. Halfway through and counting the second half, 2-1 St. Mary's. Nicolakopoulos kicks it away. Demers knocks it deep. Mendonca comes out. Gets there first and kicks it away. Broken up by Nikolakopoulos. Put it away. Ansel Jordan got a foot on it. She's playing that deep center field for Classical. We've gone this far without mentioning Mark Iarati, the brand new coach, doing a nice job at Classical. He got a win under his belt in his first game. St. Mary's with the throw-in, deep in their own end. And get knocked out. Classical will get the throw-in. And knocked out again behind the St. Mary's bench here. Classical will do it again. Bouncing loose. Gertie had it bounce off her. She gets it back. Loose out in front. Mackey hustles up, knocks it away. They knock it deep, looking for Demers breaking. Nice little shift by Demers. Throws it to the net, and nobody going to the net. So Mendonca comes over, grabs it, and she'll kick it away. Booted deep, and they finally let it go out of play. Foley looks like she's favoring that left ankle or left leg. Tipped ahead. Demers couldn't get to it. Knocked away by Jordan. Popped up. Loose. And Felice just ran over. Is that Pedro? She ran over Pedro. That's Pistol's granddaughter. Felice just turned to run upfield and just ran right into Pedro and knocked her down. Foley knocks it away. Nikolakopoulos knocks it deep. Jordan gets there and bangs it off a St. Mary's player. Jordan gets it back. Broken up. St. Mary's takes it away, rolling in, still rolling. Jordan does a nice job of bouncing it off Diaz-Martinez. And Mendonca will get to kick it away. Diaz-Martinez's head. Felice knocks it back the other way. Jordan is there off her foot, and she knocks it away before Demers can take it away. It'll be a corner kick for the Lady Spartans. And I think once again, I think it's Foley taking it. It bounces loose. Knocked back. Madonka slides and takes it away. That was loose out in front. It got pushed away. And then it was Gentili, I think, who came in to try to get the shot off. Might have been Foley. And it went through a maze of players, and Madonka was able to slide down and catch it and hold on to it and kick it away. And that, I think it bounced up and got a hand and the contact. That's going to give St. Mary's a free kick. Bouncing all the way back. And I think more than ever, I think that's Ellie Reardon in net. Knocked loose. Mackey is back there to knock it away. Headed deep. No, is there a question of they're going to take another timeout? I was wondering, standing around not doing anything. 11:43 showing on the clock. St. Mary's leading Classical 2-1, and we get a timeout down the field. St. Mary's again keeping it in the Classical end. Classical can't score if the ball's at the other end of the field. They got to get it up, try to get a few shots on net. They haven't had many. St. Mary's has really bottled them up in their own end. It's been virtually after they had that 1-0 lead, it's been virtually a defensive game for Classical. And there's a bump and going down hard. And let's hope she's going to be all right. She looked like she's getting up. That was Demers, a little hip check. Took Pedro down. And thank God Pedro's getting up. Pedro will take the kick. We're all thankful that she's able to do it. She was trying to get by. Demers came up and just slightly behind her, gave her a little hip check. And once she went down hard, looked like for a minute she might be staying down there. Spees broken up. Diaz Martinez takes it away. Circling. Lead pass. Pedro picks it off and throws it the other way. Gentili knocks it upfield. Body's going down again. St. Mary's got knocked down again. So another free kick. Ten minutes and counting left in this one. It skips past. Mendonca comes all the way out of the net to pick it off. Mackey playing that deep center field. Knocks it back the other way. Jordan trying to knock it deep. Nikolakopoulos took it away, takes it away, coming up. Walking in, the lead pass just a little too far. Good idea. Said Diaz-Martinez breaking to the net, and the pass just a little too far out in front. Good idea. Yeah, it goes out off Klaskell. There'll be substitutions before Felice throws it in. Klaskell now has two opponents that they have to beat. One is St. Mary's, the other one is the Clock. Under 8 minutes left. Cornell knocks it loose. Gerdia had it knocked off. St. Mary's again coming back, trying to get the shot off, blocked. I think that was Spies making the block. Gerdia knocks it away. Gerdia knocks it away again. Put Klaskell back on their heels, just playing defense, trying to keep St. Mary's from getting an insurance goal. But in the meantime, they're back on their heels and they're not putting any pressure on St. Mary's or their goalkeeper. There's Mackey back there knocking it away. And St. Mary's takes it right back to the Klaskell side of the 50-yard line. And they knock it deep. Jordan there. And it goes out off Jordan. And St. Mary's will get the throw in. St. Mary's content leading 2-1. Just keep it down the Klaskell end. They'd love to get another goal, of course. But they're content leading 2-1 and just keep it down the end, the Klaskell end of the field. Nikolakopoulos pops it up out in front. It's loose. Still loose. Still loose. And there's Spies knocking it away. She knocked it right to a St. Mary's player, but they couldn't get the shot off. That was almost bad news. Nope. Mendock was trying to get a hold of it, couldn't. Spies finally knocked it away. And then when she tried to knock it out, she knocked it off a St. Mary's player. It wound up back in front. Nikolakopoulos can't get the shot off. And it goes out of play. Cornell knocks it to the middle. Klaskell trying to come back. Broken up, St. Mary's. And they bring it right back to the Klaskell end and knock it deep. Pedro knocked it away. He threw it off Felice, who hits it downfield. Cornell battling. Jordan knocks it upfield. Felice kept it in. Felice gets it back. Spies drilled it. That one got the midsection. I think that's Diaz-Martinez. She's still trying to catch her breath. Hit her right in the midsection, and you could almost feel the air blowing right out of her. She's still trying to shake it off. Under 4 minutes left. Substitutions for St. Mary's. Again, St. Mary's back in the classical land. It's been there almost the entire game, especially after classical got the goal to take a 1-0 lead. Trying to throw it in front. Almost popped loose. Jordan cleared it away. It's loose again. He bounced it off Feliz, and Classical finally clears it. Again, so close to getting a third goal to make it that much tougher on Classical. The corner coming up for the Lady Spartans. I believe it's Foley. Line drives it. They got a head on it, and they kicked it out of play. Demers, I believe, got the foot on it and knocked it over everything. She was in a good position to make it 3-1. Nikolakopoulos battling, comes up with it, splits a couple of defenders, trying to walk in, signaling people to break to the net. Pass broken up. They walk in. Madonka made the save, and Spies is there to clear it away. She threw it right into the midsection of Jordan, who got rid of it. But Spies helping out. Madonka come out and got a piece that deflected back towards the net. They've got it where they want it, Classical, down in the St. Mary's end, but they got to take advantage. We're in the final 2 minutes. And counting. This may be their last hurrah if they can't score here. St. Mary's knocks it out of play. St. Mary's knocks it away. Classical trying to get it back. Can't. Classical knocks it out, and that might be the last hurrah. That's the deepest penetration he made the entire second half, and maybe since very early in the first half, because St. Mary's has dominated territorial-wise, and now they got a break trying to walk in. Gerdia catches up from behind. Badonka came out, brought it, and it wound up on the foot of Feliz. She had a wide open net, and she got her foot under it and drilled it high over the net and out of play. I don't think it makes any difference because the time is winding down, and Classical is not going to win this one. They had the 1-0 lead, and St. Mary's came back, and that second goal, that's a tough way for Classical to lose this game. It slips past Mackey, and as it does, the whistle sounds, and St. Mary's is going to be the 2017 Lynn City Tournament champions. Isabel McGahee gave Classical a 1-0 lead, but then it was Susanna Cornell banging one in to tie it off a pretty pass out in front, point-blank range. And then the tough goal that Gabby Diaz-Martinez scored, it was coming from the far side. It popped up. Madonka had it. She had the save. She caught the ball. When she dropped it, it was right dead center of the net, 6 inches away from the end line. And Diaz-Martinez happened to be in the right spot, just touched it with her toe, and in it went behind the net making it 2-1, and they made it stand up. Classical just couldn't get going. The ball was basically in the St. Mary's had the ball basically in the Lynn Classical end most of the game, certainly almost all of the second half, and it wound up with the 2-1 score being the final, as Classical just couldn't get anything going after they got their first goal, and St. Mary's will walk away with the 2017 championship trophy, and we're waiting to see the name most valuable player. They'll present the trophy over on the far side. I wish they would do it on the near side, but they don't. They moved everything over to the far side because the fans were getting involved over here. And we're waiting to see who gets what. But Mark Iarati has to be happy with the performance of his kids. They played very well. They come out 1-1. St. Mary's 2-0 for Jimmy Foley. But Mike Iarati in his first year has got to be happy because his kids performed very well. They represented themselves, the city, the school, their coaches, their parents. And they played hard, and they played a very good St. Mary's team to a virtual standstill. That one goal, and it was a very tough goal to give up. You hate to see something like that, because Madonka was outstanding in net, and that one little slip cost him. We're waiting to see if they're going to announce the trophy and the MVP or what.
Good evening. I'd like to present the Art McManus MVP for the girls soccer game today. And it is for the champion St. Mary's Spartans, Mia Nikolakopoulos.
Mia Nikolakopoulos, the MVP. Outstanding. Coming back from that injury, played very, very well. She's a leader, almost like having a coach on the field. Having pictures taken.
Now presenting the championship trophy to St. Mary's.
Championship trophy will be presented to the seniors, the captains. There aren't many of them. There are only 2 or 3 seniors. One of them is Nikolakopoulos. So congratulations to St. Mary's as they come from a 1-0 deficit, put 2 on the board. All the scoring done in the first half, and St. Mary's can celebrate. And now they'll look to see if they can make it a sweep, as the boys will be taking on Classical in the nightcap for the boys' version of the championship trophy city tournament. But right now, the final score here, St. Mary's 2, Lynn Classical 1 in the girls' version, and St. Mary's will be the 2017 champions. Congratulations to Jimmy Foley and his team. I'm John Hoffman saying we hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.